Hi friends, how are you? I hope you're doing fine. I request you all to support me by subscribing so that I can hit that magical figure of a century. I really wish that all of you will support me in this. So today I'm coming forward with another story for you, and I think you like the stories that I'm saying. So in this particular story, the hero kind of is a sage. And this sage is a highly intellectual person, highly evolved soul who, through his meditations and through hard penance, has been able to tap that unknown energy which is able to give him the solutions for any kind of problems. So, just as when it happens to you and me, when we know that there is a person in the neighborhood who is able to give solutions to problems, by word of mouth we come to know of it, and we always go to that particular person and tell him or her our problems and try to find solutions for our problems. The same thing happened around the sage as well. People from near his village and in the neighboring village, they started coming to him and they started asking him about their problems, and definitely they got a wonderful solution for any problem that they face from the sage's mouth. And that was a surefire way by which his fame started growing. And finally, the emperor, the king of that particular kingdom, came to know about this. And the king had a particular delicate problem which he approached the sage with, and the sage was able to give a magical, wonderful solution to that particular problem as well. The king, of course, was impressed, and he immediately took him to his palace along with him. And then this fame of the sage spread to the neighboring kingdoms as well. And he became so famous across that particular part of the world that people from afar, including kings and emperors, started visiting him with their problems, and he was able to give solutions to all their problems. The matters became so great that he had to hold huge darbars, open darbars, where even the kings and emperors stayed and they waited for their turn and they got their solution from this particular sage. So there was a particular day, a Thursday, which the sage had fixed when he said, I will give you solutions for all your problems, and it is on first come, first serve basis. On the other days, I need to continue with my meditation and with my penance because that is my true calling in my life. So everybody accepted that. So every Thursday, people from all the kingdoms around that particular part would visit that particular kingdom, and they would try to get an appointment with the sage and try to get a solution for their problems. This growing fame of the sage was not much appreciated by one particular individual. Can you guess whether the individual belonged to his own group of disciples or was it someone from outside? Yeah, you're right. It was one of his disciples who felt that the sage is getting too famous. He's getting too much attention. This is not right. So he decided that he is going to embarrass the sage in front of everybody. So on that fateful Thursday, when all the kings and the emperors and the local people and people from afar, everybody was present in that open darbar, and this disciple of his walks towards him. And since he is a disciple of the sage, he did not need any prior appointment or follow any order. So he comes to the sage with an outstretched arm, which is in a fist like this. And he looks at the sage and he says, can you please tell me correctly whether the butterfly is alive or dead? The sage looked at him and smiled a very saintly smile because he knew what his disciple was up to. He knew that either ways the disciple is going to prove him wrong. So if the sage is going to say that the butterfly is dead, the disciple would just open his fist and the butterfly would fly, showing that the sage was wrong. And if, on the other hand, the sage said that the butterfly was alive, then he would just crush it because you know the butterflies are very delicate and the butterfly would die immediately. So the sage looked at him and said, Son, life is in your hands. This story is not between a saint and his disciple. This story is your story and my story. Our life is in our hands. Whatever we are today, whether we are happy about it, whether we're not so happy about it, it is because of us only. Similarly, if you want your life to become better, there's only one person who can make it better, and that is you. So please keep this in mind, everybody, that life is in your hands. You can choose whether you want to achieve the best version of yourself, or if you want to settle down for the average, or if you do not want to do any work and be the person whom everybody else takes for granted. Everything is there in your hands. And I'll come back to you with another story regarding attitude in the next episode. Thank you so much.